Isn't that a lovely view of a home library to aspire to? Yay! Welcome, everybody. This is Margaret. You're on my channel, so you are on Booktube. And it's a Sunday, my regular Sunday stream. What am I talking about today? Purpose of today's stream is books on location. So specifically fiction. And I thought this would be a delightful opportunity to talk about where I am actually going, not in books, pretty soon, because I finally took a step. So I'll be doing a little trip preview, at least sharing the first step with you guys at the end of the stream. What I'm going to do to make this a little more interactive with the books that I'm going to feature is talk about the landscape, the place that is featured in the book, and then elicit guesses of where you guys think it is. And I'll have some visual cues as well. And then I'll pop up the book cover that I am actually thinking of, and we'll see if anyone got it right. Okay? So I've got, I think, 6 of these, and 7 is the current read, and 8 is the place I'm going. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little quiz here, get other people's ideas about books that feature interesting locations, and then get some of my favorite books that feature those locations, and then sort of transition into where I'm going and how fun that will be. So let me say hi to the chat. We've got an RC, we've got a Just Eva, we've got an AF Stewart, a Barrett Lori. Hi, Barrett. Are you ready to sing next weekend? Someone is following me on multiple platforms. And so, yes, that is spilling the beans early. But I'll give you some more information at the end. I know. Yes. Well, you're the head of the class, Barrett. What can I say? It is a public post. Yeah. So let's jump into guessing these great books on location. So this is the fun thing I did. At first, I thought it would be too fussy to do this. But then I thought, no, I think I'm going to do it anyway. So here is my first category for a place that I really felt immersed in, right? So these are all books that I've read that made me feel in that place, sometimes different time, but this was actually more of a place. So where am I? And it was my first experience. So that's sort of a hint, because it's an early sort of type of book to read. Where am I? And have you been there? Give me some titles. Give me some book titles. I'm going to try to give it 20 seconds for each of these virtual backgrounds for people to think, process, remember that book they read in high school maybe, and leave a guess in the chat. I'm not going here on my next trip. I'll be going through here. That's I don't know, bad hint. I've got my hot cocoa. Yep. Does it look like Kansas? Eva's saying it looks like Kansas. I don't know. I think it's a little hilly for Kansas. Almost like there might be peaks somewhere around here. Okay. Nope, but I think I gave a good hint just now. So let me pop up the answer. Ta-da! So this is Yorkshire. This is a background for the Lake District, which is also known as the Yorkshire Lake District, Peak District, moors, dales, all sorts of things to describe this sort of beautiful landscape. And this is the first time I remember really being swept away and feeling like, oh my gosh, I can feel the wind howling outside and all that stuff. And then I went on vacation with my family. I got to pick one of the places we went, and this is where I went. Chawton, not Chawton. That's Jane Austen's birthplace. I went to Haworth. There's also a W in the name. Haworth in Yorkshire, and this is pretty much what it looked like in July. So, on location fiction, this is my first introduction, the classic Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. All right. So no one got that one. I thought we were going to be starting easy. So let's try again here. The next one is quite different. It's more of a recent read, and it was very immersive. It jumped around, actually. So there were several different locations, so I picked a more generic one in this country. So if you get the country, you'd be right. We're seeing like a market scene with lots of buses, lots of people, lots of umbrellas, very colorful, electric wires. Location, 20 seconds. And you can always go on my story graph and start creeping on my list to see if you can game the system and guess. But if you've watched the channel, you probably have heard me recommend this book several times. It was really good in the past year. We're close. Vina's close. Hi, Miss WOC reader. It is Africa, but I'm looking for the country name. It's big. It's got a big market, big sort of commerce going on. No, although Cambodia is a good guess because it's like the chaos of the markets. Yeah. Vina got it. Nigeria. Okay, so which book brought me to Nigeria in a really immersive way? That would be a short story collection, sort of interlocking short stories by Omolola Ijeoma Ogunyemi. This is her debut collection, and it's called Jollof Rice and Other Revolutions. So good. So it's basically revolving around 4 girls growing up, but it also starts generations back at the beginning of the 20th century, I believe, although they don't give dates. And then it sort of goes generation by generation, different locations, but the soul, the sort of rootedness is, I would say, mainly in Nigeria with sort of a half foot stepped in the United States culture, because that's where the author's background is. But really, really good details of setting that like were really cool and made me learn a lot and love a lot about Nigeria. So very cool. And Pina got it. Points. I'm giving imaginary points. So there you go. Just Eva says, I don't know, bring me something for the market when you go. I have not been here. So yes. Trinkets is, I like it. Yeah, that would be really cool. I just was really enjoying a vlog that my friend Marion put up. Her channel is called Writer in Rwanda, and she's a Brit expat living in Rwanda for like the past 10 years. And she had a New Year's celebration where she went up to one of the suburbs outside of town so you could look out and see the fireworks and like the beautiful skyscape, and it was really pretty. So yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I bet the market is crazy. It has so much good food. Yes. The one they talk about several times in Jollof Rice is more concerned with the cloth. I think they're going past and like she hides behind someone when she's a kid who's a cloth vendor. And so yeah, it's just when you really feel immersed in a place, like that gets stuck in your head and you're like, oh, I feel like I've been there because it was so descriptive. I really like that. Okay, there's 2. And the third one is gonna be, let's see. This might be a hard one. I tried to find a really specific picture, but it wasn't very unique. So throw out ideas. Where am I now? It's got a really pretty sunrise picture. We've got trees, we've got Spanish moss, we've got a big fountain, we've got wide avenues for people to walk around. It looks quite nice. I can't remember if I've been here in real life. I don't think I have. Nope. Anybody's guessing France. They don't have the drippy Spanish moss. But it is a good guess because of that fountain. So where else might be imitating French fountain styles? I mean, everywhere, because they're pretty cool. But try to give 20 seconds. Maggie's here. Maggie's very close. I'm going to ask for a city here and get real specific. Not Italy, although, again, it looks like the fountain could be Italy. Not New Orleans. Again, which book have I read that is set here that I might have talked about lately in the last year? Nope. Other direction. I'm going to grab the cover, pop it up here. So I started a cozy mystery supernatural series by Bailey Cates, and she sets her mysteries in Savannah, Georgia. Yay! Anita got it. So yes, this is what I was going for, like the low light and the Spanish moss and the graceful trees and that sort of Old South feel. Savannah is, I think it's got like islands just off the coast, so it's got like a marshy reputation as well as a river that goes through it and emptying into the Gulf. And in this last book that I read, Potions and Pastries, it's in the Magical Bakery series. So it's a witch running a bakery, and she's an herbal witch. And there's also like a romantic subplot. It's great. It's like everything sort of fun and cozy. And what stuck with me in this location was that there's a ferry that goes across to an island. It's very short. It's like a 5-minute ferry, but there's a very ritzy golf club place at this island, and they had to go back and forth with this like murder investigation to try to find someone. And so I've got this like vivid memory of running for the ferry and seeing the person on the deck. And so that coastal identity of Savannah is what's stuck in my mind, and so great on location fiction that I would recommend. Oh, Baton Rouge. I haven't been to Baton Rouge either. I don't know. Maybe we have a place like this in Baton Rouge. I wouldn't know. I would have to ask friends who live closer. Yes, we got 2 points handed out here. One for Vina, one for Anita. So far. Yes, I would love to stay in a bed and breakfast in Savannah. Me too. Maggie says Spanish moss tea is a thing. Terrible tasting, but still a thing. I didn't know that. Spanish moss is different from Wisnia, but Wisnia is the kind that I think of as medicinal that I like collect when I go out, for the apocalypse. Ooh, that's a good suggestion. Yeah, Bailey Cates. She has a garden-themed mystery series as well, which I think also involves supernatural stuff. But yeah, there's like cat familiars. I think you would love it, Maggie. Okay, so that's the third one. What do we have next? Aha. And this might be a little difficult for the audience here. Again, I'll try to give some time here to digest. We've got ocean, it looks like, on one side. We've got a certain type of rocks in the foreground. We've got these like little huts that are colored a certain way, which might be helpful, and some cliffs. So where does that suggest that I might have read a book from lately? Again, I love armchair travel. I read travel writing. I read fiction based in places I haven't been. So this is really recommendations of places where I want to go or I have been, and the books really made me feel like I was there. Let's see. Oh, hey, Laura. Not Australia, although the Red Rocks is that makes it a good guess. Maggie's close. I'm going to ask for a county. That's what I went by when I went keyword searching in Canva. Anita, I'm asking for a county, so let's see if we can get closer. New Zealand? Yeah, I mean, that's a good guess. Yeah, the little lighthouse and the huts. But nope. Oh, close! Cornwall, we're almost there. Anita got it. Anita's got 2 points. Devon. Okay, and so Devon, which book have I read recently that was set on a Devon beach that I really loved? The Burnout. So this is my first Sophie Kinsella novel, and she's very famous for the shopaholic books, which are usually set in cities. But for this one, her heroine is she was so burnt out at work that she tried to become a nun at a nearby abbey. They rejected her, and she was running away from her boss and ran straight into a brick wall. That is the level of burnout that I think we can all identify with at a cellular level sometimes. So she goes to this place that she's gone to as a child, this Devon beach resort, but it's wintertime. And so funny things happen. But yeah, so I put a Devon beach on here. I have not been to Devon. I would love to go for like the scones alone and the Devonshire cream alone. Like, yes, sign me up for that. But I haven't been. So that was a pretty one that was very fun to read about. There's also like pirate legends and stuff like that, contraband. Oh, Suffolk is also a good. Ooh, that's gonna come up in the next one. It's not related, but it's related to the author. So, oh, and Dorset is also a good guess. Yeah, you guys know your counties. Well done. But Devon is the correct answer. Maggie says, I have a friend who lives near there and posts pictures. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Sometimes you follow people just because of where they live. Maybe. I'm not the only one that does that, right? He has a good retirement life. Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be like lucking out in the retirement lottery for sure. Okay, so I think that was fourth. The next one I've got, yes, the fifth one here. This might also be a little hard, especially for like, oh, I'm standing in front of one of the clues. So we've got a red brick building. The time frame here might help you. We've got blue skies with clouds. That might help you. We've got a bridge of a certain era. We've got water running over a dam. So there's lots of clues in here, like if you're a history buff. I don't know that I'm blocking too much, but it's like hilly. There's landscape features. And I read a book that, like, I've been through this town. I just stopped there one night and I didn't really get to know it. But afterwards, I read the book and I was like, wow, there's some really exciting stuff happening there. This is also a historical one. So, any guesses? 10 more seconds. Oh, some close guesses. So Laura is guessing Ontario. No, although does Ontario have like a dam that looks like that? Or whatever it's called. I don't know what I would call that because it's not like a dam. It's a river, in-river something. I can't remember the term for it. Vina is closer with Seattle. We're very close. We're almost on the nose here. Spokane. Yes, you got it. Vina's got a point. Yeah, Spokane. Not a huge town, but a very interesting story was set there, and not a very famous story, but very good historical fiction. Does anyone know the book that I read and loved that is set there? The guy in Devon, his dog's name is Chief, and he brings a rock home from the beach every day. Once a month, he takes a wheelbarrow of stones back. That's aspirational goals for retirement. Nia is here. Hello. Laura's guessing somewhere in Washington. Ding, ding, ding. Yep. Yeah, Washington. So she looked at the clue on the building. Washington Water Power. Washington State. Yeah, but Vina got Spokane. And the book? Any guesses for the book? This one. The Cold Millions by Jeff Walter. So his first book was really famous. Beautiful Ruins was like everywhere. And I haven't actually read that one. It was set in southern Italy. But he followed up with, I think, something else, and this is his third book, and it's historical fiction around the Wobblies time, so like 1905, 1910. And so that's why the clue was like the red brick, sort of second half of the 19th century building, and the water that would give you Pacific Northwest. And the book combines several different storylines, including labor unrest and sort of power grabbing, and like strikes and spies and really good stuff. So I really enjoyed that book. I actually still have, there we go, still have my hardback copy with my tabs in it. If you know, you know. So recommend that. Like, it might not be your regular travel destination expected, but you would learn a lot about Pacific Northwest and labor history in the US, which is a historical thing rather than a location thing. But, you know, I had to push one in there. And let's see, that's 5. I think I have one more of the book recommendations. Is it? Oh, yes. Okay. So here's the last previous book read, and it's a really gorgeous picture. There's a little bit of snow. There's mountains. There's some like eerie light. That's a clue. And there's obviously a structure in the middle. It's a castle. It's a very old castle. I'll give you 20 seconds to sort of process, think. Where might this be? That many people have read about, written about, but I don't think many have traveled to. It's a little out of the way. All right, we have a couple guesses. Nope, think further away. Laura's guessing Switzerland. Good guess. Anita's guessing Italy. Nope, good guess. Maybe if I draw in some bats in the sky flying away. There's another clue. Mountains, good for skiing. Old castles. Oh, a little bit closer. Maggie's guessing Austria. Laura's got it. Okay, so I think Anita's got 2 points, Fina's got 1, and Laura's got 1 now. Transylvania. So what have I read that is set in Transylvania? Yeah, Maggie got it too. And it's not the original, but it is a one of my favorite authors. And I reviewed it recently. So what is set in Transylvania? Dracula. Yes. So Anita says I knew it, but just couldn't spell it in time. Oh, okay. And Maggie's making lunch. Yeah, Transylvania, which is in Romania. And the book that I read that actually uses some of the legends from Dracula folklore is called Castle Shade by one of my favorite authors, Laurie R. King. And this is way late in the series of Russell and Holmes. And so this is Mary Russell married to Sherlock Holmes, and they go out sleuthing in the world. And I thought I would close with this one because Laurie R. King basically takes each book in her series as a challenge to find a new location to feature. She's been to Japan, she's been to Venice, she's been to India, she's been to Paris, and she does like deep dives about those places and histories and stories in those places that she then weaves into the story in a really cool way because it's historical as well. But like, I felt very immersed in Transylvania, not the Dracula version, but like the 100 years ago version, the folklore, the population, the attitudes, the class differences, and how they handle like royalty, because there was that in the story. just think she does such a good job of using the different landscapes, different settings as characters for her two very strong protagonists to play off of and investigate. I love it. So that is another one of my location recommendations. Maggie's making fried tortilla bowls. Sounds good. And JC is here. We're doing a little guessing game. We're on our final number. So far, Anita is winning, and we've got the current read. So again, I said if you wanted to cheat, you can go to my story graph. But whoops, this one. So where are we here? Oh, I'm gonna get rid of my name so you can see that little piece. I forgot. It's in the way. There we go. So here we have a sort of washed out blue sky, lots of snow, a backbone spine of a mountain range or a hill range. Can't really tell because the perspective is sort of thrown off by all the white. And we've got a little character. Oh, sorry about the virtual background messing up here with all the white. We've got someone on a dog sled with his dog sled team going across the frozen expanse. Where might this be? I'll give you another 10 seconds. Iceland? No, I don't think they do dog sleds in Iceland. I think they're more boating in terms of traditional ways to get around, staying on the coast. I don't know, but that seems to like rattle around in my brain somehow. Anita's guessing Alaska, which is still like, I don't know, hundreds of miles away. Juneau, Alaska? Nope. I will take a province, though. What is North Plot? I don't know what that is. Oh, North Pole. Okay. Okay, North Pole. Nope. Oh, Anita's closer with Yukon. So it's a book that I'm currently reading, which is a memoir. The book might help you with the location. And because the memoirist dips in and out of different provinces, I'll give it to you for Saskatchewan. I was looking for Manitoba, but this picture from Canva does not have a specific tag. So I was looking for like South Arctic Circle, and this is the closest I could get because he does have several adventures already with dog sleds and his dad putting an axe through his foot, etc. at his moment of birth, all that stuff. So yeah, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, that's like the border with Reindeer Lake, and I think that's like where he's been explaining he grew up so far, which is very cool. Newfoundland is way over to the east, so you were closer before. But that book, which is turning out to be very interesting as I listen to it, is called Permanent Astonishment. And it's by Thompson Highway. And he does go into why his name is Tomson, which I was confused by. So the other cool thing about this book that helps with the feeling connected to the other, like I don't know anything about the Arctic Circle way of life, Nunavut, and like Cree language. He talks a lot about Cree language and how it's different from the Inuit language, as well as Dene, which has a very large geographical range for the language family, which I was really interested in to hear. So Thompson Highway, Permanent Astonishment. He's an Indigenous Cree author, and this is a memoir of his, and it really starts at like the moment of his birth. It's very humorous in a very unique way, and he's talking about the 50s, but to me, who grew up in California, it could be talking about like the 1850s rather than the 1950s, because it's such a remote outpost and the culture was so separate from your typical metropolitan 1950s growing up. So really, really interesting and immersive for on-location fiction. So yeah, I'm listening to that on Libro.fm's audiobook and really enjoying it. And the fact that they pronounce the words so I can hear the other language rather than trying to guess reading it, which I'm sure would be like looking at geometry for me because yeah, I've tried a few times and it's really, really different. And there's no sort of point of reference for me. So I just like appreciate the art and move on. So it's nice to hear the language in the narrator's voice. It's not the author, but it is a different narrator who speaks the languages. That is the current read. And then I'm sure I scared Barrett away, but here was going to be the reveal in case anyone here didn't know that I'm on Twitter and I shared last night when I bought my ticket. I'm going to, where is this? Where are we here? So yeah, the trip preview is that I bought my ticket. So it's narrowed down where I am actually going at the end of February. So I haven't traveled much in the winter. So that is going to be new. I'll be traveling on my own. And, oh, there we go. London. Yes, my ticket is for London. And JC got it too. The phone boxes, they're iconic, right? Yes. So 7 days, 6 nights, that's for sure. I did the, there's a new delightful thing in airfare travel. You have to pay to get a seat assignment with British Airways. So the fare that I thought was bumped up another $100+ because I was like, if I don't have a seat assignment, I'm going to be the first person to get bumped off if it's overbooked. I don't want to do all this planning and then not get there at all. So that like fear in my bones is probably what they're counting on with people, but like whatever. It's $100. I'm already spending a bunch and it's okay. It's okay. It's the getaway. I'm going to do some research. But I haven't heard back from the accommodations or the tour guide company that I emailed a few days ago. So we're still up in the air about where exactly I will be staying and where I will be going. But I'm aiming for Ayrshire, the town of Ayr, and some little towns near that called Saltcoats. And that's in southwest Scotland. So train, plane, automobile. No automobile, because we're not driving in the snow. But train, plane, bus, taxi will probably be involved at some point. So that is a little preview. And I'm very excited because this is my first international trip to plan since 2018. It's like 5 years and I feel it because I have been sort of like staying in place for economical reasons and hesitant to travel internationally because of environmental reasons and the fact that if I go on a jet plane to fly thousands of miles, I don't want to do stops because that's like a waste of fuel. I don't want to do it like it's nothing because it's a big deal. So I would rather go for a longer time, but I'm also a cat mom. So I can't leave the cat alone for too long with the neighbor coming in. So that is the preview. That is how far we are now. And that is my sad update on airfare pricing structures. But I'm very excited. And I'll also probably be reaching out to folks if they want to meet up, if they're in the UK along the way. So if you're near in the American definition, London, at the end of February, let me know and maybe we can meet up at a wonderful little bakery, bookstore, cafe because those will be on my itinerary. So that is on location fiction, and you guys came up with some great locations. But if you're watching this on the replay and you guessed any of these, let me know what you got right. But let me know which books you recommend for immersing you in a different place, whether you've been there and you love it or it's unfamiliar and you really want to go. So let me know in the comments. Other than that, thanks everybody. Happy Sunday, happy reading, and take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.